It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
Ooh, great
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyeman to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Hey, Brett, cutting it really close today on the show.
Hey, we got here 9 seconds before the show started.
9 seconds before the show started. My goodness.
No, my son had missed a couple days of school and he got behind on homework and he's kind of getting stressed out. So he's going over some vocabulary terms for him to finish his homework.
Sure.
And I'm like, look to the clock, 8:13 is like, whoa. Fortunately, I spent some time beforehand to get the show ready.
Thank God.
I'm always down here like at 7 o'clock, 7:15, get the show ready, then go back upstairs.
Yeah, that's fair enough. By the way, that girl at the very beginning of our video who says, jobs are not for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine if I were Ruth Westheimer. Remember Dr. Ruth?
I remember Dr. Ruth. She had the dildo strapped to her forehead.
I don't think she did that. Somebody probably did that too.
No, I thought it was Dr. Ruth. She
was like, probably when you knew her, she's in her 90s already. Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Yeah. Sexual. I can only imagine that girl also, or woman, is not into anal in any way, right? If you're not going to suck a penis, you're not going to do anal either, right? I mean, if you got that low of a barrier, you're probably not going that step either. So pretty much you're got one entry position, and that's, well, you can deviate the position, I'm sure.
I suppose I'm taking a chance of getting she likes to do the 1/8 stance. She's playing the field, and she doesn't want to take a chance of an STD all over this.
Oh, yeah, right. Like that's going to happen. Come on. Anyhow, I'm just imagining that's cutting out 66% of all available activities for the most part. You're leaving one part, right? I can't imagine she's that much fun. I mean, unless she's just really good at that 33%, right?
And told she have big tits in that intro?
Can't really tell. That's not a big thing for me. I'm not a big tits guy. Doesn't really make a difference. I like fit. That's more important than anything else.
Well, I'm just saying if 66% of the activities are gone, you can squeeze the tits together.
Oh, God.
And there you go.
Well, I suppose they're still hands, right? Hands.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine.
So, okay, I'm going to take that down from 66 down to like 52. All right. So half the activities that are possible are now gone. So I don't know. That seems pretty limiting to me. I would rather not answer the question if I were her than answer it that way. But hey,
what if she makes up for it other ways though? Like maybe she's got a swing. You never know.
A swing?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like where
she
straps into those swing thing, that kind of thing? The kind of thing you and Evie have?
Attach it to the back of the door and opens up a whole new world.
Back of the door? You guys have one of those? Huh. Okay. All right. She was like the Julia Childs but of sex talk. Yeah, so when I was 11 or 12 years old, I used to go to bed at night listening to the radio on my headphones. I'd plug them in, those big ass headphones. Remember those gigantic things?
Yeah.
And I'd listen to music, but then
not too terribly far off of these guys.
Yeah, I was some New York City radio station, and yeah, from like 9 to 11, every night. It was Dr. Ruth Westheimer. And I learned so much between the ages of 11 and 13 about sex. That's what led me to my research throughout my life about it. So anyhow, pretty awesome. Anyhow, yes, we should get the roster next week. I'm still trying to work out a date to get Kirk to come on the show on a non-live day, and we're going to have to tape it. And I know most of you are like, oh, I heard Kirk. I don't need to hear any more of him. I get it. In some ways, it's just we haven't had him on the show. I'd like to kind of get him one-on-one. I think we open people up a little more than other people do. And I think we could get him to talk about some things maybe he hadn't really talked about before. So we'll see what happens. It could be both.
Ask a question about certain interviews, too.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, have you watched the new kind of like conspiracy things that Charlie Kirk was like maybe shot in the back of the head? I'm not going the politics or anything of it, and that there was no exit wound, and that the gun was a Mauser, but it was a 30-06, and there should be an exit wound. Those things are used to shoot fucking bears, elk, moose.
There's a whole bunch of stuff going about the socials. They're like, hey, what about that guy? And it's some guy that's close to Kirk that's kind of going like this.
No, not that.
There's all sorts of conspiracies. And I'm just saying, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there for that.
So I talked to this guy I've known for a long time. He was a sniper and lives in Kentucky now anyhow. And he was like, no, man, I mean, even if that was a low grain, low weight bullet. So for this particular 30-06, you can get them between 150 and 180. So 150 being on the light side, 180 being on the heavy side. And that even if it was a 150, the chances of that not having an exit wound are like 1 in 1,000. He's like 1 in 1,000. Like that's got to come out the other end. No bone stopping that. Now they said it hit his neck and went downwards into his chest cavity, and the guy's like, well, usually then you'd see something like there would be, I don't know how he described it, but something that happens to the cavity as it separates the muscle and tissue and water in your body. So you should have been able to see that if it hit and went down. I don't know. Well, I guess my point is we don't know anything until we see an autopsy, right? And we see some sort of photos of the bullet, or what he's basically saying, the lighter the bullet is, the more it's likely to tumble and do weird ass shit. But still, a 150 grain is still pretty heavy and probably should have an exit wound. Then you got people said he got shot in the back and the neck was the exit wound. So weird stuff going out there talking about this. It's fascinating, and I think, like this guy told me, no, we're not going to know anything until you see an autopsy. We got to see what bullet type it was. Let's get some x-rays of where the bullet ended up. Certainly we should be able to see that. If they could, until then, I mean, it's a very small chance that could have happened, that there was no exit wound, but we won't know until we know more. Makes sense. But boy, there are a lot of people jumping the gun out there. If it even is a 1% chance or 0.5% chance or even less than that, I suppose it's possible, right? So we just got to wait. What if that was the 1 in 1,000 bullet that did that? I don't know. I don't know if you've heard any of that.
Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, we'll move on. Listen, that's in the news. It's really curious. I'm curious like anybody else. And especially when something as big as that happened. All right. Where do you want to go from here, Brent?
I'm going to lighten things up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's talk about some fun criminal activity, since we're kind of on the same topic, I guess.
All right.
Oh, I gotta get a little closer in this one. So Kelvin says criminals are stupid.
Okay.
They detained him as They detained him as a suspect for robberies in Melvin, but they let him go free. Before leaving the precinct, he stole a police officer's cell phone.
Hey, go free. Oh, hold on. Let me commit another crime first.
So yeah, Kelvin says, yeah, criminals are stupid. And I go, only if they're trying to avoid prison. Maybe he's trying to go to prison.
There are people who have been known, especially in the winter months, to commit crimes to go to jail because at least you get a square meal every day, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I forgot what movie I was talking about. I don't know if it's Shawshank or not, but like, yeah, three square meals a day. You know, get the rec center. You know, get to watch TV.
Warm bed.
So
yeah. All right,
Could
Napoleon.
you imagine?
Yeah, I know. Napoleon was taller than Bogart is. That's what I hear, John. I'm not going to hold that against anybody. Anybody's height against them. It's just how you were born, right? What are you going to do about that? Not much. You were born with it.
Some lifts in your shoes, thick soles, tall hats,
high heels. I don't know, but I wouldn't worry about it that much. Yep. All right.
Yeah. Hang out with smaller people.
You don't know. You just don't worry about it. You're like, I'm small. So what? Right?
Short king, right? Is that what it's called? Short king?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Napoleon was taller than the average Frenchman of his era or around that. The English can't stop lying about him and invented Napoleon complex to do it. In fact, Napoleon does not have a Napoleon complex. There you go. Even weirder. Okay. Not true. In fact, we are studying and watching the debate on YouTube called Napoleon the Great Debate. It's a great debate. If you like great debates, go on YouTube and look up Napoleon the Great Debate. Fascinating interview between two historians who totally disagree. They're both British, interestingly enough, but they totally disagree about whether or not Napoleon should be called Napoleon the Great, or not. There you go. Okay. I like master debates. Well, that's a cleaner way to... Debaters? He forgot the R.
Debaters?
He said master debates. He said debates.
And I said
I finished it. I know. He left out the R. I think you're just letting him know you left out the R.
Yeah. It's not just he likes the whole aspect of the debate. And the people who, the debaters are the masters.
Yes.
And that's clear. That's clear cut.
Well, one's better master debater than the other one in this particular video. And of course, we all know what side I fall on. Anyhow, being a Napoleonic historian.
Larry with some lies in the chat saying Vikings were dumb as fuck, or dumber than fuck. Vikings were not cool.
Is it Larry part Viking?
I mean, he's white, but doesn't necessarily mean he's Viking.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, Larry, as far as the R word goes, that's pretty much all of human history
Prussian.
back in there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not just a Viking thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Prussian too, Larry. Somehow we've diverged off mental paths. Okay, what else we got?
Maybe there is a little bit of Viking in Larry.
A little one.
Getting Larry.
A little Viking in Larry. Going in and out, in and out. All right.
Larry calls you out. He says you're not Prussian.
I am, actually. My mother's last name is Vollrath, and my family are all from East Prussia on my mother's side. So you're incorrect, Larry.
Where does Prussia all consist of?
It doesn't exist anymore. It's in modern day Poland.
Consist. Like if you had where Prussia, like what
where it was
all ate up of, yes.
Where it was would have been closer to like what would be modern day northern Poland. Okay. Yeah. And then there was another chunk later on, and that was taken by the Russians after World War II. So you had Königsberg, Danzig were some of the big major cities. All those cities have been, my family's from Melienburg, which was near Danzig and Königsberg, and they all have been renamed Polish names.
Let's see, that's my mom's side of the family then.
Gdansk is what I believe Danzig is called now. So
my mom's side of the family had a ski at the end of their name.
Oh, well, that would be Polish for sure. But we've had Lucas Podolski, a lot of Poles with German mix in their family end up in Germany. So,
speaking of the Poles,
that
makes this transition here. Chicago Fire have been approved their privately funded soccer stadium. They're going to be debuting it in 2028. So, Derek, come the 2030 cycle, you and I can go to Chicago like 12 times because U.S. Soccer is going to play all their games there.
So you think? So you think?
Hey, they did it with Cincy. They did it with St. Louis. They did it with Austin. It only makes sense if Chicago gets a new stadium that they'll go there.
Right. By the way, Larry is also correct. Borussia is also Prussian. But it's not like there was just one blob of Prussia. There was like several blobs of it across what is now modern-day Germany, Poland, and what is now owned by the Russians. A little chunk there. All right. But they are not real Prussian. That is correct. Larry's all right. That's enough on the Prussian history thing. I'm moving on. Larry's distracting me. All right.
Yeah. So, so Chicago's going to play in Soldier Field for the 26 and 27, and then so 2 more years of Soldier Field. And I wonder what's going to happen to Soldier Field once the Bears move out too.
Completely.
They're just going to blow it down and then build up.
Yeah, probably.
Nice chunk of land.
Yeah. Yep. Tessman just came in. I'm watching the Lyon game right now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Tessman. Don't you worry. While we're talking about MLS, though, I want to bring this up real quick. Let's cover
former MLSer Matthias Klitsch, also former Leeds on Inter Miami via Sport PL from Polish. I advise against Miami while Messi is there. It's a disaster of a club. People are fleeing from there. Organizationally, it's bad. Messi's father is who really runs the club. I find that a little hard to believe. I think there's no way it can be that bad. People are not fleeing.
You know, when I hear of parents of players, Messi's not necessarily one that comes to my mind. But then again, I don't necessarily follow Messi's life well enough to know if his dad mingles in there. Why would he need to?
Yeah, his dad's name is Very.
Very messy.
Yeah. All right.
Very messy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know much about his dad either, but I find it hard to believe. And I don't think that people are fleeing from. Maybe we just watched the American player flee from there and go to Italy. Yeah, that's true because nobody got to play there much. He didn't get to play as much as he wanted. He did play, but not as much as he wanted. And so I don't know. They've been winning recently again, so they look like they got 3 games in hand, and they're already in 5th or 4th or so. I think they're going to be fine.
Oh, they're in the playoffs, sure.
Yeah.
What happens after that is up to them. MGIG says better be downtown Chicago. Anything outside is Chirac.
Chirac.
So it is downtown Chicago. They have a nice little chunk of land, not too far from where Soldiers at, I believe, right now. So
yeah,
on the river, I think, or near the river.
Yep. Chambers, evening to you as well. Welcome to the show.
What is up?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're speaking of Mathis. I never would have guessed that was his name. I would have really butchered it with the Z in there. Mathis is what I would have said.
Mathis
Klitsch.
Well, he played for Leeds when Adams and when Aronson was there.
Oh, he wasn't playing for Atlanta, apparently.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, pretty positive.
I thought he played for somebody else. He never played for Atlanta. You said Atlanta. Yes. Why is Miami in my head? I don't know why.
Because he's talking about Miami right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Mathis. Here's another thing he said. He said there are clubs like Columbus Crew and Cincinnati that have great stadiums and great facilities, but the place itself is very boring to live in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Cincinnati is more boring than Leeds? Come on.
Well, and I said this on Laura. I know she's just quoting him, of course. But I'm like, the same thing can be said about any major European league. once you get out of the metropolises and you're talking about those outskirts, like you said, Leeds as an example, it's like, is that really going to be much different than, say, Columbus or Cincinnati in that sense?
Well, honestly,
far off.
Brett, I mean, you love living in Noblesville. I love living around Fishers. I love it. I don't want to be in downtown Indianapolis anyhow. So, I mean, if you're going to be somewhere, if you're a football player, probably don't know, money to live in the suburbs would be my guess of any major city. I don't know.
If you're looking long term, I feel like the amount of movement that players do nowadays, they're probably just renting a nice little flat of some form, and they're enjoying themselves on the nights and that type of stuff. And I understand. I get it. I remember my 20s. I remember my mid 30s even. But I go, give me rural over urban any day. But that's a matter of preference. I prefer hanging out with friends, drinking and cooking out over the club scene. I prefer.
Fuck the club scene. I'm too old for that shit. Now, was there a time? Obviously, yes. I played in many clubs and venues, and I mean, after the show, you stayed, you drank, you partied. That's how it was, and then you went to a party somewhere else after the show. But my days of that are long over, and this is what I prefer now. I'm not going out anywhere, clubs, whatever. Yeah, ridiculous.
So. I mean, overcrowded events. I mean, we went to the USA versus a Japan game, and that was a thing. That's fine. But
I didn't like it. I didn't like being amongst all those people. Yeah, it's too crowded. I much would have preferred it been half full, and we could have easily made our way and done whatever we wanted and got all the
separated
food.
Out a chair, give ourselves
kick back, relax, yeah. It was crowded, and the way they put those
bathrooms,
come on. Those seats are not made for regular sized mammals or larger mammals. You, me, and Chad, we were just smashed in there, and like I almost picked up your beer several times, thinking it was mine because the things were so close together.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Motherfuckers, stay away from my beer.
I remember when stadiums had more spaced out seating, but I might be making that up. Maybe I was a smaller mammal at the time.
Well, that's always possible too, I guess. My reference is always Toyota Park, and I was always sitting over by section 8 and everything. So it was always bleacher seating and back. So I mean, everybody stood. It didn't matter. Same thing with Indy 11 BYB. Yeah. I mean, you just go there and you just sit down in your area and you stand up and you do all that stuff. But actually,
people didn't crowd you, you know.
I mean, I guess the last time I had an actual seat location was at Soldier Field with the USA versus Brazil in 08 or 09, and then USA Honduras game in 08 for qualifiers. But I mean, then I don't recall. But then again, that was also like almost 20 years ago, and I was a different person then.
Yeah. I'm more picky now. As I get older, I'm annoyed by uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
I'm just more annoyed by it.
Yeah. And I thought it was weird watching the game live and saying, oh, that's Pulisic. No, wait, that's rolled on. And usually you're the one going, who's that? Is that way? I'm like, no, that's Aronson. Stop it.
No, that did not happen, people. It was Brett who couldn't figure out the difference between.
Oh, nice.
What was it? It was
Miguel was at both those games too.
Nice. I'm pretty sure it was just you not being able to figure out Pulisic versus Roldan.
That's what I said, yes.
I was helping you out, but I didn't have any problem with Weah.
No, that's what it usually is when we're watching on our TVs and computers.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is that Weah? No, I'm like, no, that's Aronson. What are you talking about?
It's like, these people are ants. Yeah, they're ants on my TV. As big as
Kevin Brenner said that's an age thing. I feel the same.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. You know, maybe my times as a frequent event goer has just gone the way of the dodo. Like, I don't even like going out to Deer Creek for a concert at this point.
I don't either.
Man, it's just the idea of waiting in the traffic to leave there, having to drive 6 miles west just so I can drive 6 miles back east to get off the exit that's right at the fucking venue, just so I can go west instead.
Yep.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm happy for the shows that I saw there. I saw like Bowie's last tours. I saw him twice there. But I don't think I'd really want to do that anymore, even if David Bowie were alive. By the way, he can't hit any of the notes of the early good songs anyhow. So they played it in a different key, and it just sounded weird to me. My brain wasn't letting it happen. I was like, no, that's not the key that song's in. I'm sorry.
Like you could spend, decent amount, let's just say a decent chunk of change up front to get a good sound system, and then just watch the shit live at home.
Yeah. RD Rap 13 asked Derek, you ever get the itch to play live again? No. I did it last year in October. That was my Sayonara show. It was a big
Sayonara.
A big get together in Bloomington, Indiana, of all the bands from the 90s. And I think there were like 18 bands that played over 2.5 nights. Pretty crazy. And that was it. I was done. There's actually footage. You can find it. If you go to YouTube and put Derek Ritchie Brando in there, you'll probably find some old footage from last year, excuse me. Newer footage of me doing the live set. There's like 2 or 3 songs online. Somebody put them up. Not me. Not me. I did not put them up.
Larry, I've got to disagree with you on this. Once you stop drinking, you really stop going out.
Baloney. Cheers, Larry.
I keep drinking and I don't go out. What's the problem?
Yeah.
And I rationalize this again as maybe it's me adulting and it's weird enough to do, but I look at it and go, man, I could go and spend $8 on a mixed drink at a vodka Sprite or a vodka whatever, whiskey whatever straight.
Plus, you have kids, dude.
Or I can drink at home.
You don't have that. You don't fucking time to go out and party anymore. Trust me, I tried that for at least 7 or 8 years.
Go to a concert sober; it's not possible.
No.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Larry. You say you stop going out when you stop drinking. I guess so. Like, why would I go to the concert if I'm not going to drink? Why would I go to this event but I still drink regardless?
Yes, I still partake. Tonight, I'm drinking a lovely 3 Philosophers from Ommegang at 9.7%. One of the best Belgians made here in the United States. All right.
Spider's Latin says it's better to drink yourself in the dark crying.
I've never done that before. Never tried it.
Start drinking. You watch a movie.
Oh,
that hits you in the heart. Hits you in the heart. Not a rom-com or anything like that. But like Warrior. Yeah, you're watching Warrior, and it's brother versus brother in the final. And they reconcile while they beat the shit out of each other.
I watched. It wasn't by myself. Last time I cried would be For Whom the Bell Tones. I probably had never seen the movie at the time. It was like 2004.
I thought you were listening to Metallica.
I was with a girlfriend. Won't use her name here. And we watched it together, and we just found the ending really sad, even though we both read the book. And we knew it was going to happen, but it was just even sadder and real in the movie, I think. Anyhow, she dies at the end giving birth. Really horrible ending of the movie.
E. Bailey's got a big one there too, man. Boromir's death always gets me too, man. It's like, great character arc, and at the end he takes 3 arrows trying to protect some hobbits.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Fight to the bitter end. He's gonna face his death. Yeah, it's a great movie. Spoiler alert. I feel like at least with Lord of the Rings, I'm sure we do it For Whom the Bell Tolls as well.
Yeah, that was 50s, 40s. Yeah, I think we're fine on that one.
What about My Girl? Did you ever cry at My Girl?
No.
It would have been like in college when that came.
No, I don't cry at movies generally. Nope.
Come on.
No.
Kid gets stung by bees, dies.
Last time I cried is when my dog died. When Gizmo went. That when I took him to
That's fair. Real life shit happens, yeah.
When I took him to the vet and they put the needle in, I lost it completely. I bawled my eyes out all the way home too. I miss that guy to this day. Gizmo was a good guy.
Rudy hits.
Yeah. All right, let's do some soccer before I cry live on air. All right.
You might cry. You might cry on this topic, Derek.
Okay.
But apparently FIFA's holding. We've already known about this actually, but they're holding more discussions about expanding the 2030 World Cup to 64 teams.
Who wants to see New Caledonia and Fiji get their ass wiped 21-0 by Brazil? That's what's going to happen.
Well, no. Okay, so first off, Max says, hey, warm up to the idea it's 100% going to happen. Don't shoot the messenger. Max, for all those people out there, Max isn't saying that he's wanting it to happen. He's just saying, guys, it's going to happen. They, FIFA looks at it and says, hey, more money, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll make them some more money somehow. But, yeah, I don't want to watch that game. I don't want to watch New Caledonia against Brazil. Not going to watch that one. Maybe I'll watch it for shits and giggles.
That's kind of the go-to. That's kind of the go-to, too. Is like if you make a whole bunch of groups and you basically dilute it down to where there's always going to be a guarantee, and you're looking at that group stage and you're going, all right, that's the one that's going to get brutally beaten down. That's the one that's going to get brutally beaten down. I mean, at least now when you're looking at those group stages, you're going like, well, I mean, they're favorites, sure, but any of these teams could go on, you know.
I mean,
very rarely is there a team in the World Cup that you're going like, well, that team's fucked.
There are only 195 FIFA.
It's 30%, almost exactly 30% of the FIFA sanctioned teams. It's 211 or something like that.
It's ridiculous. Let's just be honest. I mean, we have 32 team World Cup, and I would say there are probably always 2 or 3 teams that probably don't need to be there.
New Zealand and
New Zealand puts up a fight sometimes, I suppose.
It's fair. They can occasionally.
But, you know,
they'll always be the underdog, though. They're always going to be the underdog. There's not a single group stage out there you're not going to sit there and go, like, well, New Zealand stands a good chance here.
Right. Exactly. And, I mean, if you want more of that, I suppose, listen, we see some weird things happening in single elimination tournaments like March Madness.
Iceland.
But this isn't going to be March Madness. It's going to be groups of 4. And, yeah, I mean, okay, let's say New Caledonia somehow ties somebody. All right, 0-0. Well, the chance they're going to win either of their next 2 games are so small and infinitesimal, it's not worth even – it's not happening. They're not getting out of the group stage. So, anyhow, it's ridiculous, but it's probably going to happen, and we're all going to have to learn to live with it.
I wanted to laugh at this real quick. Brett cried for Landon before time. Man, me and he went back and rewatched that before we had kids. We went back and rewatched it because both of us grew up watching Land Before Time a lot. You know, that was during our youth. Mm-hmm. I remember going to Pizza Hut and getting the cups had the Land Before Time topper on, and I remember all that stuff. We went back and rewatched it, and man, I had to give my mom a phone call afterwards, and I had to apologize and say thank you for putting up with this garbage.
Yeah,
this movie was horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Like, what's the other TV show of the same ilk?
Dinosaurs?
Land of the Lost.
Oh.
With the Slee Stacks. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was a horrible show, dude. Horrible. Can't believe anybody watched that. I legit don't understand the whining about this. Who gives a crap if the field expands and there are 16 groups instead of 12 or 12 instead of 8? The World Cup is an event. And it's not like the knockouts will be changed. Where is the downside to expanding interest? There will be games that are going to be slaughter. A slaughter fest. That's it. And I just think it used to be a prestigious event for the best 24 teams, then the best 32, now the best 40, and now we're just going to say fuck it.
Well, and here's my response to Soccer Dad. Go, unless FIFA favors the federations with additional spots, dilution of the group stage would be the biggest reason. May ultimately make the knockout stage stronger, as they will dilute the stronger teams failing in the group stage. So if you have, instead of 8 groups, you have 16 groups, you might have more stronger teams technically moving on, because that leaves little room for failure. So maybe the knockouts get stronger, but you're basically making that group stage an extended round of qualifications at that point, because there's always going to be somebody who gets curb stomped in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, well, then what's qualification going to look like? Is that going to be extremely shortened?
You make the World Cup. No, you make the World Cup.
I mean, how short is the World Cup qualifying going to be? Or are they going to keep that too?
Yeah.
And then just a lot more teams get through in the end, I guess. My problem mostly is there'll probably be 3 Oceania teams.
Well, see, now that's what I was saying. Unless FIFA favors, so you could sit there and say, well, of the teams in Europe that don't qualify, of the teams in CONMEBOL, of the teams in Africa, Asia, they're probably more in this federation that's going to be stronger. So we'll give them more. We'll give them more. We don't need to give Oceanic more. They already have 2 at this point. They don't need a third one.
1.5 right now.
Whatever, same difference. I mean, I guess it is just going to be 1 in the end because who's going to lose to the half? But beside the point, I even said, I go, I'm not even lumping CONCACAF in this. I don't think CONCACAF needs any more spots.
Yeah,
we got enough.
You know what it'll end up being is, remember when we had the octagon?
Yeah.
All 8 are going to make it.
There you go. Problem solved, right?
There you go. No, so we just get to the oct, and then we just say, okay, qualifications are over. All of you have qualified.
Yeah, much like you said earlier before I pulled this up, I think a lot of people, it's the prestige of making the World Cup. And if you open up the doors to a third of the FIFA sanctioned national teams, it may seem less prestigious to make the event. It's sort of like the MLS playoffs, right? If 60% of your teams make the playoffs, they're like, okay, we made the playoffs. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, not for Chicago because we haven't made the playoffs in like almost a decade and a half, but that's neither here nor there.
You could make it 132 teams make it, right? And or something like that. And then it's single elimination, like the March Madness thing.
Yeah.
I'm almost be down for that. That sounds like fun. But other than that, no, this is ridiculous.
Daniel Rivera says, is there any point to the CONMEBOL qualifiers at this point?
No, there wouldn't be. I
really.
bet they would make it that one team doesn't make it. That would probably be
so you would have to, because what would be the point of qualifiers?
There wouldn't be.
There wouldn't be. So
auto
it's like
qualify. Yeah.
You'd have to have one out. Wouldn't you hate to be like Bolivia?
It could be Bolivia or Venezuela. Those are probably, that, and I'm thinking occasionally Peru might not make it. Whatever.
I like how somebody, I didn't pull this one up, but somebody had said, I'm actually starting to like the idea of 64 teams at the World Cup. Chicago finally stands a chance of winning it.
Was that the guy who asked the question?
Yeah.
Hey, now that you're here, Breinschweiger, don't we have a chance of winning the World Cup? Oh, yeah. Man, and we replayed that too with Sun. All right.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, unbelievable. We're years beyond that, and we're still doing it. FM, an angry American, for $10. Thank you, my brother. How about 24 teams qualify automatically and the other 40 teams battle for the other 8 spots? Those 8 spots compete in the old 32-team tournament. I mean, listen, I'm not sure. Either way, that's still a lot.
How do you pick the automatically? How do you make the 24? Are you going to go off of FIFA rankings? Because we, as Americans, know that's skewed as shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could work out. And when does it become a knockout round, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
that'd be more of an interesting concept. But again, the 40-team battle is just an extended qualifier at that point.
And then only 8 of them are going to make it, and then they'll be exhausted, and then they got to go get into the 32 thing after already playing a handful of games, and they're tired, and they maybe got injuries, right? So now you're making it harder for the underdogs to compete because now they're tired, and the only thing they had going for them is that they were willing to run like a bunch of idiots all over the pitch for 90 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Brett just said Bolivia.
Mm-hmm.
I said Venezuela. We were throwing out random names. Don't take it personal. All right. Saying one of those teams, maybe Peru. I threw out there.
I made a joke about a team who's habitually not one of the contenders. I'm not saying they won't be from time to time, or even making the World Cup. I'm sure they've made the World Cup before once, maybe. I don't know.
Bolivia, they might have made it once. I believe,
right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, all right. Let's see here. What's still in the same topic, I believe. But Jack says that the idea of the 64 team World Cup makes him sick to his stomach.
Okay, that's maybe too
Tournament's
much.
prestige will be gone. Qualifying becomes meaningless. I mean, these are talking points we literally just made. But I
I've not read this.
I'm not. It's
yes.
nothing sick to my. I'm not sick to my stomach. I'm just like, this is dumb. Why are we doing this, guys? Come on, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, in the back of my mind, I know why we're doing it. Money.
Money.
And one of the comments that Soccer Dad mentioned to me in that thread was, well, just think if China or India made the World Cup.
Who fucking cares?
Well, I'm like, well, wait a second, hold on. How many? Because I feel like even if your team doesn't make the World Cup, more likely than not, you're still watching the World Cup. If you're a soccer fan.
I mean,
so I went looking.
Yeah,
India had what 110 million people tune in for the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think that's changing.
But if India made the World Cup, don't you think that number would increase quite a bit?
Yeah, it might increase by eightfold. So yeah, that's money. Money.
The advertisers love it. They love the idea.
I mean, and you might be right. That may be the whole goal of this is to get China and India into the World Cup. I mean, it's still a lot of work for India. I got to tell you, they got a ways to go to make the World Cup, even in an expanded World Cup in Asia. There are a lot of teams better than India in Asia. So I don't think it's going to help them. It might help the Chinese. They're a little bit better than India. I mean, I don't know right now if that's the case, but at least traditionally, their women's team's good. So how long would it take them to figure out how to get the men's team to be good enough to at least qualify with 64 teams in the World Cup?
India's busy with cricket right now and ever.
Right. And that is their sport. Cricket is number one there.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So, but it's the worst thing that can happen to the sport. I think it could be worse things than expanding the World Cup. I mean, I see his argument because we made some of the same points, but I mean, there could be worse things.
There are lots of worse things. How about like having your anus expanded without your permission? That's
this may be a fun point for other old time MLSers and stuff, but bringing the hockey style PK to the World Cup could be worse.
You know, I think it's fun, but that's just me.
I think it's silly.
I like it. I think it's fun.
Nope. See, this is what I was saying. It could be controversial there.
Yeah, I know it would be. I liked it when it was going on, and it wouldn't make me like cry or weep if it came back just for the shits and giggles.
I mean, in the end, I wouldn't have a problem. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's silly to me.
It was silly. That's why I liked it.
Why don't we add like a 2-point circle that you can score like they do with indoor? Remember, like there used to be spots in indoor you could shoot and score and get multiple goals.
Yeah, maybe we make a 2-point line. Yeah. That's about 15 yards outside the box.
You score. Let's say you score outside the 18. That's 2 points, and then it'll be a 3-point circle somewhere.
It's got to be further back than the 18.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying like the
25. There'll be a lot more of 7 to 9 point games in the end. Maybe we'll get more Americans on board at that point.
Just for people who don't know, we're kidding around here. Okay, this is a joke. We're joking around.
Oh man!
All right, so don't get all.
All right, while we're talking about the World Cup and all, not the 2030 World Cups because that's far in the future. That's future us problems. Let's talk about the upcoming World Cup here.
Okay.
And Kirk asks, are these mascots for the 2026 World Cup dripping or tripping?
Come on, Kirk.
Is it dripping or tripping, guys?
I'm not going to even bother going there. There is no dripping or tripping. They are little tiny characters of an eagle, a leopard, and a moose. I think that's what they are. They're not dripping at all. They're certainly, I mean, they're only tripping if you're tripping. So, you know, I know he's kidding. We are too.
I mean, so this is going to be the talking point here. We've already had a World Cup in the United States, and we had another mascot, a mascot that I hold dear because it was the first World Cup that I grew up with, and that was Striker. Let me pull this up. Yeah, Striker the dog. Why couldn't we bring back Striker? I say, hey, let's keep this. I mean,
I don't mind it.
let's keep that. Let's keep Piqué.
On my give a shit meter, the mascot of any World Cup has meant absolutely zero, zilch, nothing to me in my entire life. The only one I remember dramatically was the 1978 one.
Juanito.
That one stands out for me because 1978 in Argentina.
Okay, fair enough.
And why? Because my grandfather mailed me a book. It was in German. My German was very basic, as it still is then. It's 5-year-old German, basically. And it was written simply enough that I could read it. And I still have it somewhere in my collection, in my library over there. I have that book, the 1978 World Cup. It just summarizes the qualifications and then big time, the tournament, game by game by game. So a lot of fun to read. And that character was in the inside cover as you open the book. My grandfather bought those books every year and mailed them to me all the way through 1998 when he passed.
Like how Mexico has actually 2 options to recycle. They got Juanito and Piqué. Piqué?
Piqué?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're all pretty dumb for the most part, honestly. But hey, it's a tradition. You got to pick a mascot.
Hey, what's up with the fucking South Korea one? What the fuck is that?
I'm not sure what that
is. And Nick.
Those are like,
what the fuck is that?
2 little gummy bears? I don't know.
Why? 2006 was what, Germany? Why does that one look like it was drawn by like a 7-year-old?
I don't know. It's horrible. And so it's 2010, and so it's 2014, and so it's 2018, and so it's 2022. So it's 1990. I like the chili guy for whatever reason in 86.
I kind of like 86 too, man.
I like the chili guy. I don't know why. I don't mind the 82 one either. It's fine.
What the fuck's Italy? I mean, what is that? 90. What was 90?
Yeah, that was just dumb. It's a stick figure with a soccer head. Yeah, dumb.
I know it's anime guys, but I'm just trying to think of like what. I mean, what?
Yeah,
that hold like some kind of appeal to maybe back in 2002 there was anime that was sort of like this along that type of operas. I don't know.
So my basic feeling is, who gives a fuck? And I move on.
I don't know. I mean, I'll say the batch of mascots are fine. I like how England's mascot, World Cup Willie. Love how they named him Willie first off. But I mean, again, he looks like he was drawn by like a 2nd grader. Hey guys, let's draw a lion.
That's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Yeah. All right. Enough. Spare me. I can't do anymore. All right. What else we got?
I guess this is going to be a
transfer news. Transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news, but me. Whatever.
All right. By the way, for the 184 of you here already, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your grandma. 11EX says, I'm a huge fan of Jack Mize. I really wonder how that's possible.
Me? I don't know.
I'm sure he is, but how much have you heard of Jack Mize? I knew he's at Dortmund, but
we brought him up when he moved to Dortmund. That's about all. I mean, from just like randomly keeping tabs.
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Had a rough time with some injuries. He did. Hopefully he can continue to develop with Cincy, become a good pro. Okay. Maybe he's a huge fan of him because he has like my personal connection with the Hoppies, right? Obviously, I'm a Matthew Hoppy fan because of that. So maybe Pete has some personal connection with him. That's what I'm thinking. Because if all you're hoping at this point is he's going to be a good pro, Well, yeah, okay, good wishes for him. But I can tell you he's 17 years old. He's practically a man. He's played a total of 12 games for Dortmund youth teams. I think he's not going to amount to that much, to be that much. I'm just saying.
I think maybe Pete was watching some of the scouting footage you can find of the kid while he's at Dortmund. You know, he saw some promising things. I don't know. But being 17 and making his move back to the academy
is the kiss of death, not the other. It's the opposite of. Yeah, so do pray he becomes a good pro because that's probably all he's got left. And I hate motherfuckers who do silence or be quiet fucking celebrations. God,
unless it was Geo after Geogate, that was pretty funny.
I don't hate the people, I hate the act. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right, whatever. Don't hate the game, hate the player. I don't hate the player. I just hate that celebration. Shh, about what? About what? What do you?
Maybe people talking shit about the American that's on Dortmund's youth teams.
Yeah, maybe they did, but because he only scored one goal and had one assist in whatever that season was, so maybe that's why they're talking shit. And maybe you never play, and so maybe they're talking shit, and you still got some more things to prove. Jack Mize.
Jack Mize actually plays Pete's son in his latest commercial.
I don't think he's young enough. He's 17. He's got hair on his nutsack. He's practically a grown man, and he can't get into, the 2 team. He barely played for the under 19 team. Barely.
It's got to be a culture shock. Make your trip over to Europe. You're playing some games. You get injured. After the games, you go out to the pub, grab a beer with your teammates, and then you make the move back stateside, and you can't drink for another 4 years.
Yep. So. Yeah,
I've been having a beer every night for the last 2 fucking years. What the hell, man?
Right, exactly. I don't know. So Derek wasn't a fan of Testament Selly today. Yeah, I was not a fan of that. I thought it was unnecessary. I don't know who's been talking shit lately about him. But what happened to the celebrations and acting like you've scored before? I just think the whisper thing is so played out. It's so cliche. It's like you can't think of anything else. Nothing. You're going to keep doing the same celebrations over and over. At least motherfuckers to stop putting the ball in their fucking shirt and acting like they're pregnant and rubbing it, and then doing this.
That means there's fewer and fewer soccer players that have pregnant wives.
I guess so.
It's the only reason why you'd indicate a pregnancy on a celebration.
Just like, come on, get a little bit more original or act like you've been there before.
Yeah, be original. Slide on your knee into the corner.
Yeah, don't do that either. That's old.
I never would do that. I never would want to do that because it's a great way of, tearing ligaments if you fuck that up on some dry sod.
And if you don't get it right, you can you get your knees into the turf.
Yeah,
and they'll give you burns on your knees. So,
and if you don't tear anything, you just look like mug. You look
like a total idiot. Yes. How about some original celebrations, people? Yeah, exactly. You hit a.
I don't know. I like the after you score, you just don't do anything. You just sort of look around type of celebration.
Well, you can
who's the guy from Man U that did that?
Yes, the French guy. Yes, I forgot his name already. The guy, you guy, but he had his collars up too.
Oh yeah, that added to him, man. It just made it look cooler.
He can do that. He's allowed to do that. You got to earn that. You got to earn it.
Was it Barry Sanders?
No, it wasn't. No, the Lions do not play soccer. All right.
Oh, man.
All right. He did a bunch of commercials there for the World Cup, back in.
There it is. Who's going to have it?
Eric Cantona. Thank you. Larry Henry Jr. expecting former U.S. Youth National Team defender Justin. We're talking about Justin Che still? Really? To be on the move in the coming weeks, sources say Che was so bad he could only has one appearance for Brøndby since joining ahead of the 24-25 season. Or Che is so full of himself, he only has one appearance for Brøndby. Che hasn't put in the work enough. He only has one appearance for Brøndby. Che's been so mediocre and so full of himself. Okay, dude, I hope you get the wake-up call at some point. The German team's not after you. No. Okay? Wake up, buddy.
Somebody said if there was ever an American player that needs to come back to MLS, it's Justin Che. And I said, well, I wonder if this is a lifestyle and money decision for him not to come back. I mean, while in Denmark, the minimum salary of a non-EU player is $90,000. Now, while he was at FC Dallas, he was making $120,000. Do you think any team is going to pay more than $90,000 for Justin Che at this point?
At this point, no.
So why not stick it out in Europe as long as you can find a team that's willing to play you or pay for you?
Because nobody is interested.
We don't know that much yet.
Oh, yeah, we do. You went from the heights of the Bundesliga. Huh?
How can he be making a move at this point anyways?
Well, he's coming back home. That's probably where he's going.
But neither windows are open. How does this work?
Yeah, there are...
Bromley's just saying, hey, we're canceling your contract. Get the fuck out of here.
No, there are windows that are still open in leagues that play during... who are completely canceled on a different window in Scandinavia. Completely. They're on a window. So that could be possible. I don't know what else. I mean, if they cut him completely... which could happen, then an MLS team could sign him. So,
yeah,
they cut him, cut their losses. No, Jorge Castillo, Che is still not undecided or decided on playing for Germany because Germany doesn't know who he is, and we barely know who he is because he went there, had a big mouth, had a whole lot of shit to say about how great he was, and when he went out on the pitch. There wasn't much there.
How could you go from being super highly touted at
Dallas,
Bayern? Like literally, no. I'm saying Bayern were eager to sign him, but there's whether it was an age issue or a contract issue, he came back to Dallas, and then at that point, it just really started fizzling after that. How did he go from being that? I mean, I guess we can ask Conrad that too. I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's
Julian
really
Green. Let's ask him how that worked out.
Hard to say, right? But obviously you're not impressing enough people because you're playing for Brøndby. And yes, Brøndby's a really good team in that country, but that's a big step down from what everybody thought you were going to be capable of. And when Bayern signed him, they thought he's the next Chris Richards, but better even. So that just didn't work out. And when you guy gets signed and gets in front of the mic and the first thing he says is, I hope the German team is paying attention. I'm interested, and I hope they're interested. You just don't say that. Just put your head down and get to fucking work. Shut the yapper and get to work. Apparently that never happened. And maybe he was just never as good as people thought he was.
A player who is putting his nose down and getting to work? Or putting his head down, I guess, and getting to work?
Christian.
I was combining two different sayings there, but
yeah. Things. You said that like a German. I'm comparing two things there. All right, Brett. Well done.
I know. I'm channeling my inner Derek in this front. But while we're talking about the Germans,
yes, Borussia Dortmund's manager Nico Kovac was asked if U.S. youth national teams Mathis Albert is nearing a move for the first team. Everything has to go step by step, and we must not rush into things. The development has to be there. It has to be there, but it has to be there constantly, and then the future will show that. If they, Albert and Samuel Ignacio, continue like they are, things will be rosy. All right, Nico Kovac.
I mean, speaking of as a German, Derek, do many Germans use the phrase "rosy"?
Yeah, rosy. It's rose. No, I don't think so.
I've been using of late. I don't know why I've been bringing that using it, but I've been saying peachy recently. Peachy.
They definitely do not say peachy.
Oh, of course. I mean, how many peach farms, orchards do they have in Germany?
Yeah, the color for red is rot, so maybe they said something similar, but I don't remember a German saying for like rosy as in like a rose or whatever.
Well, that's why I use the phrase peachy, because I mean that'd be a synonym of what he's basically trying to say there.
Yeah,
the rosy, peachy. What are the colors out there that would fit in that situation?
I don't know.
You would say that things will be whitey. That'd be weird.
If he keeps this development up, then the team the coach will look at his play and say, schmecken good. Tastes good. All right. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Germans would say. It's been a long time, Brett. I'll ask my mom.
Since you've
and even
rock and or world.
When I ask my mom for a saying or something that I can't remember, she can't remember it either.
Well, I mean, asking your mom for a saying and stuff like that would be like asking an adult American for some slang term, right? The slang terms that you know aren't necessarily the slang terms that we utilize nowadays.
Yeah. So one of the projects I'm working on with some younger folks is about Zion Park in Utah, and making up like a marketing pamphlet for them and all that. And these youths that they picked the beaver as the official like character of or mascot of Zion Park. And so they're like drawing beavers, right? And then you got people going, "Hey, Mr. Richie, can you come over and look at my beaver?" I'm like, oh God, pull it together, Derek. They
nice beaver you got there.
That's a lovely beaver. That's one of the best beavers I've ever seen.
Now Brian
Mr.
says,
Richie, come look at my beaver. It's just like, you got to be kidding me.
I'll go ahead and take my HR phone call now. Fine. God.
I'm so glad they don't know what that means. That slang term means.
No chance they don't know that.
This new like whole generation has lost like at least 80% of slang terms for things, and they're making up their own. But they don't remember.
In fairness, every generation makes up their own slang terms.
Your beaver looks really angry.
Yeah. Brian says everyone is German for Derek. The guy can be Indian and still have a German accent.
Yes, I'll do that too.
I like to eat my curry. No,
although I will contend,
I can't do a German accent either, so it doesn't matter.
The dog accent is not German. It is not German. The dog accent.
It sounds German though.
It is a talking goat. All right.
Got a may I touch your beaver?
No, that doesn't ever come up.
Can I pet your beaver?
I think we need some edits on your beaver, but I don't think I'm using very purposeful language, so I'm not going to make myself smirk, right?
In my day, we called it a beaver, and I snagged a pelt or two.
Who's done? Who's done with their picture? All right, hold on. I'm going to come over and look at your beaver in a minute, but first I'm going to look at Stacy's beaver, and then I'll be over to look at your beaver.
Yeah.
It's really not good. It's not in my mind. I'm like, what's going on here? I cannot believe they picked the beaver as a mascot because there are coyotes there. There are all kinds over there. They picked the beaver. All right. And I knew we were heading downhill from there. All right, Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend.
At least they didn't go for a titmouse.
I could do better with the titmouse. Honestly, could. Yeah.
Just think there's a lot of animals with names like that.
Yeah, but if she said, "Come over and look at my titmouse," I'll be like, "Okay, I know what you're talking about. It's got the tit word in it." Ha 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 ha. It's like one of the definition words we're reading, the Red Badge of Courage, and it had ditties in it. And of course, I saw some of the guys smirk when somebody had to read the word in the story. Ditties. Ditties are just short stories, small tales. That's all they are. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. Remember that?
Yeah.
You got a smirk.
Could have done porpoise, and they could have said, Mr. Richie, do you generally wax your porpoise?
I'm not going to say that. Nobody waxes
porpoise. Does porpoise get waxed?
We got Mr. Porpoise in here, and he's fat. All right. Tom Bogart.
Nicely done.
Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend. Maybe that's what stunted his growth. I kid, Tom. All right, too much weed early on.
Is that your problem?
Wasn't my problem.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I was 5'11" once. All right. Sources: the Columbus Crew have signed U.S. men's national team wingback Max Aronson to a new contract. Aronson, 24, going on 30, one of the league's best at his position, integral to the Crew's game model. Yes, I agree. And becoming regular with the U.S. men's national team because of his prunes. He's eating more prunes, so he's becoming more regular, taking Metamucil, and thus becoming more regular when he's at the U.S. men's national team. Crew rejected a bid from Middlesbrough this summer for Aronson, and that was mostly because they finally got his eating habits down, and he's not shitting himself anymore. He's completely regular with the Crew, and they want to keep it that way.
So as it stands right now, Aronson has basically just said, I mean, I know other people have extended their contracts. We talk about Luna, we talk about Gutierrez and stuff like that.
Yep.
To 2028. However, if he's signing a new contract, that's going to be another new 3+2. He's 24 years. He's 24 years old.
Higher salary.
I'm sure you got a higher salary.
Yes.
He's got a new 3+2, most likely. He's 24, possibly going 25 at this point, which would mean, will many European sides be entertaining a concept of paying a huge lump sum for a 27, 28 wingback from MLS at this point?
Yeah, I mean, basically what they're saying is we're signing him for 3 more years. So if teams want to come and bid for him, we've got leverage because he's going to be here
I understand.
A while.
But no, that's the thing, is that nobody's going to pay that leverage.
I don't think so. No.
I mean, not going to pay the leverage, and by that point, he's going to age out of the window of opportunity for him.
Yeah, and we've seen this so many times before. It's like, all right, dude, well, you just locked yourself in, and by the way, nobody's going to offer the 14 mil or the 18 mil that fucking Columbus are going to ask for you down the road. So you're stuck here. Do you know that?
Well, and by accepting the contract, by accepting the extension, he's looking at it at the salary level, and he's also looking at the fact that, well, if I continue to perform in MLS, U.S. men's national team coach will keep tabs on me, keeping me in the loop, and that could pan out. That might not pan out after
that's
coaching.
So short-sighted. The next U.S. men's national team manager is not going to be drooling all over MLS. There's just no way. Not happening.
And the other talking point really will be the salary. I'm guessing if he's getting a new contract that it's going to be the high 6 figures at this point, maybe even a little bit more than that. Because if it's not, why would you even bother?
I don't know. I would say he's signing this because the salary just increased by probably 10 to 15%.
That wouldn't be worth it in my book.
I think it's probably even more than that. We'll have to check it out once those things come out.
The numbers go down.
I would guess it's almost doubled. If I really had to guess, I'd say it's doubled.
Max Arson's base salary currently is $350,000, with total compensation at $390,000, rounding up, in 2025.
That's pretty good.
Let's see, according to the contract extension, which runs through 2027. Yeah, so that I don't know if that's his new contract.
So you're telling me he's making $380K a year?
$390K in 2025 right now, yeah.
Fuck. Well then, yeah, he's staying.
Yeah, that's gonna be the argument right there. It's like, will he be able to get a contract abroad where he's gonna be making comparable or more?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Maybe.
Doubt it. That's a lot of fucking money.
He's looking at the salary, and he's looking at the potential that, every U.S. men's national team coach calls up some, and our left backs don't have that bright of a future.
They're rarer.
Maybe.
They're rarer. I mean, listen, if you don't want to take a sniff at John Tolkien, or if you don't value him, or there are other guys who just they're not there right now to challenge Jedi. I guess he's not that worried about it. Fine. Good for him. And you know what? Hey, at some point you're like, I'm not moving over there unless I get a really good offer. So, okay, fine. I get it.
Some people are more than content with staying home and making a solid fucking salary.
Yep. The only problem,
if he's smart with the money, he would definitely save and invest and hold some back and start working on a coaching license and continue that path.
The only problem with LFC 1718 EPL's statement is that, yes, of course, Nathaniel Brown is better than Aronson. As
you can go to Europe and still be no option.
But Nathaniel Brown is not on our radar. He's on our radar. He's not on Poach's radar. So, and it could be that Nathaniel Brown's already said fuck it, but I don't think he has.
No. Well, I think he's holding options. He may favor Germany over US, but if Germany keeps sidelining him for the youth teams and US actually focused on him some, he might get swooned.
Could be. We're not going to know. I don't think it's going to be this manager.
2026.
Yep.
Might be too late after 2026. We'll see.
Chambers, that's not exactly what Brown said in that interview. Go back and read it. He is not holding out for Germany. That is not what he said. He said the usual standard baloney.
Hey, if Germany gives me a call, I'll accept it, is what he said.
That's what he said, yes. But he also didn't say that if the U.S. called him up, he said had no opinion on that whatsoever. So I think we can't jump to conclusions at all at this point. But yes, does it look like most likely we're not going to get him? Yeah, it looks that way. It does. Right now, I'd sway Germany. If the Germans ever get up to saying, we want this guy, and we're willing to go cap him. So
like a 60-40 Germany at this point.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit more.
Right.
So if they ever did call, he would have, let's say if they called and we called at the same time and said, hey, we want you this window, he's taking Germany. Guys, I'm not insecure enough to sit there and say like, oh, he's good. It's likely. It's very likely that's going to be the case.
VMR clearly, it seems like he's been playing with the German national youth teams for a while now. I would imagine that's what he's comfortable with. Sure. So yes, I think yes.
I think it's clear. That Germany's his first choice.
But at the same time, there is no saying what's in somebody's heart. So we're just going to have to wait.
Well, I mean, it's clear that obviously Germany was in Jermaine Jones's first choice. I would wager that Chandler and Johnson both would have picked Germany if they would have came a knocking.
Yeah.
I mean, they lived their entire lives growing up in Germany. Their extent of U.S. knowledge is perhaps a military figure who's not in their lives as of right now.
And JJ, when he changed his mind, which you're allowed to do, by
100% full-fledged devotion.
He came balls out for us. So you can change your mind. You can make a decision to switch and then go 110% balls out for that team. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And he did play, I think JJ played in the Olympics for them or something like that. And he was able to get that out of that. At the time, I know it was a special request or whatever, but they let him go.
I'm sure England was Balogun's first choice, but since making the switch, he's been balling out for us.
So Brown, yeah, true. I think Brown, unfortunately for us, is probably good enough for the German national team. But again, so was JJ at one point. So just keep that in mind. The only problem here is that he can only make a one-time switch, Brown. So apparently he can play friendlies and still make this switch down the road. So I think even if he does play for Germany in some meaningless matches or whatever, he can still make the one-time switch, right? Okay.
Ballo also switched because Southgate didn't call him up when he thought he would. Yeah, and you know what? Brown's thinking Germany should call him up, maybe internally.
Sure.
And but the big difference is at least we were trying to swoon Balogun over.
Yes, both Berhalter and the fans.
Not begging. We weren't begging, guys, but we're like, hey,
some beg.
We're interested. We'd like to get you out here, and eventually, enough, asking out on a date worked out eventually.
Yeah, Robert Spike says JJ wasn't good enough for the German senior team. He was at one point. He decided to give up the hope. That's also the potential cost for
a lot of German players, but for like Brown's case in that situation, is there's always, I mean, even if he does get called into the national team, there's always going to be 3 or 4 left backs that are coming nipping at his heel.
Right. He's not a left back either. He's a left wing back.
Left wing back.
And a left winger. He's not
a left-sided
really,
player. We'll put it that way. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he could play left back, and he has. But why haven't Germany called him up? They got a lot of good players in Germany. That's why there's still hope for us. Honestly, they got good players there. And it's not even that this is even close to being anything that we saw from Germany in the 80s and the 90s and 2000. They don't have players like that anymore. They don't have Lothar Matthäuses and, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge's. They don't have Jurgen Klinsmann's. They don't have those kind of players.
TV.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, Karl-Heinz. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. What? So you can't say anyhow. Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, you can't say his name either.
Yeah, I think you can. Those are their names. I'm just saying that we are a long way from those kind of players on Germany anymore. There are good players on Germany, but they aren't great players like they used to be in the past. So there are some great players, but that national team, when I was a kid, was full of great players. Every position. At every position. So that's not the case anymore. So yeah, I'm sure they got their eyes on Nathaniel Brown, no doubt.
Brown is finally his one-time switch as we speak. Source, trust me, bro.
No, he's not. I wish he were, but that ain't happening. Sorry.
All right, so we were just talking about how Aronson became an MLS lifer. But let's also talk about an MLS lifer talking about somebody who got out of MLS.
Landon, Donovan, score a goal for me to Unfiltered Soccer and Tanner Tessman. It feels like the ship has sailed a little with him.
You got to monotone it up a little more. It feels like the ship has sailed a little for him.
I'm being called up to the U.S. men's national team because Pochettino was so high on him at first, and then over the summer, he didn't get called in, and it feels like other guys are just moving ahead of him. It's going to be interesting to follow. From what I heard internally and a little bit externally, that September camp, the Japan and South Korea games, were the last time Pochettino was looking at evaluating players. And I know we've heard that, but now this October camp is like, this is all our guys, and this is what we're riding with going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see a guy like Tanner Tessman. So he's saying he will be there, but he's saying he's not. He's saying the ship has sailed, but he'll be there.
Here's, I don't know if you saw me wave my hands up in the air. But from what I heard internally and a little bit externally, the September camp, the Japan versus South Korea games, were the last time that Pochettino was looking at evaluating players. Pochettino said it out loud in an interview. So what do you mean? Why are you saying this like that? I got little birdies speaking in my ear that he's no longer going to be evaluating players.
So when he says what he's heard internally, he's talking about from his own rectum, right? And when he's talking about externally, it's his farts. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe. And I just really don't believe anybody from U.S. Soccer Talks or anybody that any of the players actually. I mean, they definitely talked to him because they had Poach on the show. So they're friendly. Of course, they're sponsored, by the way. That show with Tim and Landon, they are getting money from U.S. Soccer. Did you know that?
No.
Yep, their show is sponsored by U.S. Soccer.
How do we get paid?
Well, how friendly are we to U.S. Soccer, Brett?
We're pretty friendly. We just, are critical at times.
Yeah, at times. So that's why they got the Poach interview, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
It's taking a quote and misinterpreting what was being said. Hey, the September window is the last time to evaluate players. That doesn't mean that people that weren't included in September were not going to be evaluated later. It's those people that were there in September were going to get their one shot to be evaluated to move forward.
I mean, what is crazy, and we keep saying this about Landon Donovan as a pundit, he is lazy, he doesn't do his homework, or either he has a hard time reading quotes and understanding them, like his comprehension level is not as high as it needs to be. I don't know what he's even talking about here.
The ship has sailed on Testman because he wasn't evaluated in September, Dagoy.
Give me a break. Now, may his ship have been sailed?
That's
Yes.
possible. It's possible.
But it ain't because of anything that happened in fucking September.
Yeah, I mean, he's had him in to evaluate him. And then the September window was his last chance to evaluate MLSers because they're going to be in playoffs. And that's the big talking point right there.
But then he finishes he finishes by saying, so it's going to be interesting to see a guy like Tanner Tessum in October. Is that what he's saying? Oh, but he'll be there in October anyhow. Even though his ship has sailed, he'll be there. What the fuck kind of sense does that make? This sentence, this whole paragraph makes no sense when you put it all together. Sorry, Landon.
And I know we've all heard that, but now this October camp is like, this is our guys and what we're going to be writing for going forward. Yes, I maybe with an inclusion here or two of still players that might be vying for a spot, but yes. We're going to see Poach's idea of ultimately what's going to be more or less an A squad, minus injuries, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cardoso's still injured at that point, which all accounts seem like might be the case, then yes, he's not going to be in October, but he might be on November or called in later. I don't know. But we're going to see what it's going to be. This is a weird quote. As far as saying shit. I mean, there's nothing said here.
That's because generally a lot of his arguments and the way he constructs arguments are piss poor. And I'm not going to get into philosophy class and just generally how statements are structured. If you want to make a coherent point, like this is poor. It's just poor. I don't even know what he's talking about by the end because he's out, ship sailed. Oh, but it'll be interesting to see him once in October rolls around. Okay, whatever, dude. Now I don't know what you're talking about.
He wanted more from Landon Donovan. He chose to take the easy route. He chose to decide where that ceiling stopped. That's on him. That's his problem. That's his legacy, and he got a statue for it. Great. If you want a statue, Diego Luna, then figure out how to be the king of Shitsville. But don't do what he did. Challenge yourself. Try to get better. You will get better because you do have the talent. Staying here, you will stagnate.
He's talking about Luna in that situation.
Yep.
But still, it was just mixed with it. It's like, I mean, Winaldo's not holding back any punches at this point. I mean, we've seen it on social media. It's everywhere.
It's kind of funny. When I wrote Kirk, I was like, despite Eric protests of you coming on our show,
yeah,
we still want you to come on. Either in late September or early October. Anyhow, that's just funny shit. Despite Eric's protests, anyhow, I'm not going to give you. Anyhow, we'll move on. All right, Julian Vivas, $4.99, and we like Eric. We've had Eric on the show twice.
Oh yeah,
so
plan to have him on later. We just got to work
again. Yeah, I just think it's funny that there's something going on between them, and that somehow it's our problem. It's not our problem.
We talk to anybody.
Yeah, we'll talk to just about anybody who makes any sense or has some weird
or don't make sense.
Or don't make sense at all. Yeah,
it'll be an interesting show if we brought in somebody who doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay. Well, there are plenty of those people, Brett. So there are options all over X. All right, Julian Vivas for $4.99. Who do you guys think can get a move from the World Cup U20 tournament? Is there anyone? Can we bring up the roster? Because my immediate feeling and answer is no. It's too late. Julian, it's just too goddamn late. It's too fucking late. The World Cup is crawling up our asses as we speak. I just don't.
I want to know if he's saying a move to like Europe and shit.
Can get a move from the World Cup U20 team. Oh, who might get a move to like a better team?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's always possible. I think Diego Cochin's going to move to a better team than Barcelona.
I mean, yeah. I like Reed Baker Whiting, but I don't know who's tracking him. I even kind of rate Bombino a bit. I mean, Ethan Kohler's already there. So is Campbell.
They may get a better move from it.
Josh Winder's already there. He's getting fucked in Benfica, blindfolded. Yeah, Kamashi already at Parma. Taha Brun could be interesting going forward. We got to keep an eye on him. We have Pedro Soma back.
So he just made the move back. So I mean,
Zachary's I had some feelings about before. I'm not sure anymore. Let's see who else on here.
We know Cole Campbell's not going to get moved because Dortmund's actually interested in playing him.
Right, and I'm not saying none of these guys are good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, do any of these guys tickle my testicles and make me feel like, oh?
I mean, it would have to be a phenomenal U20 performance.
Yep. So Banks is not on the roster because he's at Augsburg, and
he's going to be on the senior squad. Is where he's going to go.
Right, and he's already played with the big boy team in Augsburg. Probably wouldn't release him anyhow.
I mean, there are players. The ones abroad could even still get bigger moves. Maybe not necessarily, like I said, maybe not necessarily Cole Campbell, but I mean, it's gonna. I mean, none of these. I mean, these players. It's gonna have to be standout performances.
Yeah. I don't think the U20 tournament necessarily will make anybody move forward if it's poor. If it's really, really good and we make a deep run to like a semifinals or a finals, then yes, there are going to be people watching that. I remember that Freddie Adu team with a whole host of players that had a great youth tournament. And yeah, a bunch of them went to Europe and they immediately came back in like 1 or 2 years.
Xavier Gozo, is that the guy from Real Salt Lake that did that bicycle kick goal recently? That was nice.
It was nice, but it's, I wouldn't get too crazy about it. People can have great moments and they live forever in our minds. But however, you got to watch more games than that one instance. And I just don't know if the U20 tournament's going to move the needle a lot for these players unless they make a deep ass run. That's what it's going to take, a deep ass run. And by the way, some of these players are already being scouted by European clubs. So
that's true.
It could happen for some of them. Again, I got accused, or you and I got accused, and you might have this coming up here soon, of hyping our homeboy from Heidenheim, Maloney.
No, I talked to Jimmy a couple months ago about this because he's like, yeah, you should just listen to me about these type of things from now on. And I'm like, guy. In hindsight, this is a year and a half ago when he quote tweeted our conversation. I go, a year and a half ago, he was a starter, a standout for Heidenheim. Aiden Morris was still at Columbus and not doing that great for the U.S. men's national team when he was being called in. I mean, me saying that Maloney stands a better chance of making the World Cup team at that point isn't
made
crazy.
A lot of sense. Yeah,
it's not crazy, man.
And I hate his arrogant tone. Like, there are only so many people who can get away with that online without everybody thinking you're a total fucking prick. And that's how that comes off. Because I don't know if you have the one I sent you, but he made it sound like, oh yeah, man.
It's the same conversation we had basically. Yeah. I
So
didn't pull it up because
we didn't hype Leonard Maloney. We never hype anybody. We don't hype. We might defend some players here and there and give them an out on a case. We don't hype here. We don't hype players here. We are not in that business. We don't come here and hype anybody. We just tell you what they're doing, how they're doing it, and if they might be good enough to play for the U.S. men's national team. Yes, Danny Zettel was one of the guys who went to Italy and came back pretty soon.
Wanted to beat up Derek.
And he wanted to beat me up, and he sent me threatening emails. That's a whole nother story. But it happened. Trust me. So I just want to get that to be very clear for guys like Jimmy O, who probably don't watch the show, but they're big yappers on Twitter. Like, you don't know us. Apparently, you don't know who we are.
I've got no problem with Jimmy O.
We do hype stepsisters. Yeah. Yes.
I've got no problem with Jimmy O. It's just that one talking point. I'm just like, dude, you're not going to win this conversation because there's nothing to win.
Nope.
I mean, at the point, and hindsight's always 20/20. Yeah, if I could look a year and a half down the road, I'll make statements too. But there's no guarantee that Maloney wasn't going to move on from Heidenheim and still perform.
He said nothing's changed, Brett.
Is Maloney a limited player? Sure, he's a destroyer. He's a center back.
That's all he is. That's all we ever claimed he was. That's all we ever claimed he was.
And we talked about backups for Adams. We said he's the like for like backup. He was at the time, especially. And you know what? Again, Morris is still at Columbus, and I wasn't discrediting Morris's time at Columbus. I didn't really like his first couple of call-ups to the national team. Thought they were mediocre at best. But then he made the move over to Middlesbrough, and you know what? He's absolutely fucking balled out there.
Yep, yeah. So,
and I'd like to see him get a call up too.
I'm just being really clear. We are not hypers of any players. We have, in fact, our show is all about telling you not to invest in players emotionally and any sort of. I saw somebody post the other day.
Sergeant.
I saw somebody else post the other day about, I can't even remember what player, but they're like, hey man, I can't keep, backing you up here. You should never have been backing him up in the first place. Why are you doing that? You have no idea what this guy does on a day-to-day basis, how he's playing in practice. You don't know how good he is, really. You can watch the games, but that doesn't mean I'm going to 100% invest in anybody. I did it one last time with Gideon Zalalem with a younger player. I'm never doing it again. I'm never doing it. And by the way, when we were talking about Maloney, he was probably 21 at the time, young player.
22, yeah.
Right. We said he was a limited player. He was basically a destroyer, and that's it. And that he had some potential to play as a center back. Boy.
Well, he played for Dortmund's 2 team as a center back.
Center back.
He got 1 or 2 games in there for Dortmund. And then he got shipped off to Heidenheim, played in Bundesliga 2, got them promoted, and was playing the Destroyer 6 for them the entire time, almost a third center back. And that's what we're talking about.
Okay, Untouchables. My dear friend, Derek hypes Nathaniel Brown pretty hard. No, I don't. I'm just telling you what he's accomplishing and what one of our greatest weaknesses is if Jedi is injured.
And he'd be an improvement upon his stock.
And that we're limited at winger. Let's say Pulisic pulls a groin. We could use a Nathaniel Brown. It is important to go after players with those kind of qualities. I don't think Nathaniel Brown is the best thing since sliced bread. I think he's a pretty, decent player in the Bundesliga. I think he's a really good player. I don't think he's a great player. I don't think he's going to be a top 50 player in the world or anything like that. But when we're talking U.S. men's national team, yeah, you bet your ass we better go get that. We better go get that. We better at least talk to that at the very least. So I disagree with you. If you think that's hyping Brown, I just disagree. I grew up with players like Lothar Matthäus. All right. And I grew up with great players to watch. Franz Beckenbauer. You listen. He gets nowhere near those guys. Nowhere near them. So I'm not overhyping him. He's nowhere in their category as a German player. Nowhere in their fucking zip code. Okay? I'm just saying he'd be good for us. We need him. That's not hype. That's a reality. That's all I got to say.
Daniel, I'd suggest rewording this slightly.
He's tight.
Just a little bit, man. Just a little bit.
He's tight. What?
He's young and tight. Tight like a tiger.
I guess he plays really tight. I don't know, he's got good ball control. I'm going to just say that much.
I think that's what you're talking about, yes.
I just want to be really clear. The show is about the opposite. We do not hype players here. We will never hype players here. We will never tell you any player is God's gift to the world. They all have flaws. None of them are Beckenbauer. None of them are Lothar Matthäus. None of them are shit. I mean, come on. We know that. We know that. We know some of them are shit. We know who they are. We know we are limited. Even our very best player, Christian Pulisic, has limitations. We are very well aware of that. We are not making him out to be Messi or Ronaldo or anything like that. And we never will on this show, unless they really are. And in that case, I guess we'll break out the lube and rub one out with all of you. But until that time, we are here to warn you about overhyping players, not the other way around.
And to that point, we all know Pulisic as a player. And yes, he's kind of the name and the face of U.S. soccer at this point. But even when he's coming on the pitch, he's scoring goals. When he's coming onto the pitch, he's scoring goals. You know, it looks like you could do no wrong at AC Milan right now. But we also call out the people who are like, hey, is he a top 10 player in the world? Like, no. Reel that back, guys. Come on. He's a solid fucking player, but let's reel that back a little bit, guys.
I mean,
crazy.
All I can think of when people say things like that is, are you watching any other soccer? Because if you are, there's no way you can believe that. You can't. I am very impressed by Pulisic's start to the season and what he did last season, but he's not a top 20 player in the world. He's just not, because that includes all kinds of positions, not just center forward. All right. Yes.
Chamber says this is a good time to mention that Gio probably out this weekend.
Could be.
I don't know. That's a possibility. So there was an interview here, and it basically said that Gio on Wednesday had a thigh injury and did not practice.
Who?
Although they were concerned because he may have picked that injury up running out of the stadium when the fire alarm went off.
Question for you, Brett.
Yeah.
Who are Gladbach playing?
Frankfurt.
Didn't they just play Frankfurt?
No, they played Leverkusen.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good team they're going to play. And it seemed to me that Polanski wasn't really interested in going ultra attacking anyhow.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's going to play the sort of same reserved, very conservative setup that he did last time. So if Reina comes in, it'll probably be in the last 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Chambers to say kicker said that he's likely out today. I mean, it's possible. I mean, the coach basically alluded in this interview, basically saying that he picked up the thigh injury. It's a slight injury. They were hoping that he'd be back at practice today or tomorrow. And even if, like you're saying, Derek, even if most likely Polanski's going to go with a more conservative starting 11.
Yeah, which is great for Scally, but it's not great for Reina.
So whether he was going to get bit minutes in this match or not, I think is regardless of the injury. If he's back, he'll get time if he's back.
Is the injury irritating? It absolutely is.
100%.
At this point, we're all sick of it. Just sick of it. But listen, you can't necessarily blame Reina unless he's doing. I mean, listen, they've got some of the best trainers in the world over there. It's so
not at Dortmund, they didn't.
Not at Dortmund, but here they should. And you would think, his body's still can't handle one start in 10 minutes in the next game. So what's going on? And then if he was born with a broken ass body, like his father's last 6 years of his career, 8 years of his career, where his body broke down, he's already there. He's already his dad, and he's what, 22? Holy Christ!
I think a lot of his issues are going to stem down to just getting regular playing time, and he may have to fight through a couple niggling injuries here and there. But if he can get consistent playing time, that's the best thing for his body, quite frankly.
I got to tell you though, remember watching his dad play at Sunderland and then Rangers, or he was always injured half the time. And then he comes to MLS, he's injured 70% of the time. So hopefully this isn't some sort of physical flaw he's inherited through his DNA. I'm hoping not.
I mean, kind of sounds like they've got weak muscles and tendons. Look at this.
Sounds that way. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens this weekend. I do not suspect he's going to start by any means.
I'm not waking up that morning with any anticipation that he's going to play.
It's Sunday, so I've got other things I'm going to wake up for that for. So
yeah, me too. I think F1's on next weekend, or maybe it's the weekend after that. But I'll be definitely up for that.
Score.
Formula One.
Here's the guy you should be waking up for, Derek.
It's not helpful if everyone is always criticizing him. U.S. men's national team Brendan Aronson still has no goals or assists this season for Leeds United. Amid fans' criticism, Leeds manager Daniel Farke came out to defend Aronson. It's important to not push too much weight on his shoulders, Farke said about Aronson. Sometimes the feeling with Brendan is that we are a bit overcritical in public. We know Brendan has challenges in his offensive game in terms of decision making, being a bit clearer or more straightforward. This is something we speak about a lot about. It's not like I press a button and do my magic and he's completely a different player.
Kind of went English there for a second there, Derek.
In training, we bring him more into positions where he has to take decisions. It's not like he's not willing to score or not highly motivated. He's just an idiot when it gets in the final third. All right. Sometimes because he is so on it, perhaps losing a bit of his calmness. Yeah, he's a spaz in the final third. Thank you. But it's not helpful if everyone is always criticizing him. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. At this point, it is a bit frustrating. What have we been saying about Aronson? Bring the dark Brendan, baby. Or
Tom Holland over here can't score in a box, man.
He gets in the box, and when he gets near a box, it makes him nervous. But he's too old for that. That happens when you're 16. All right? Or you're not even 17. I was completely good with getting near boxes at 17. So at 16, yeah, I was a little nervous. I mean, I was being introduced to the whole realm of womanhood by an 18-year-old girl.
Was Brendo the record buy for Leeds? It was like 20-some million or something like that.
It was up there.
What was Adams?
It was shocking. It was up there too. And I don't remember either. I don't remember.
But they made equal or more some bank off of Adams' transfer. They're not going to do that with Aronson.
No, and it's not like Aronson didn't put the work in last weekend. He did. He was all over the place. But yeah, give him a ball in the final third, he crumbles. He crumbles. He can't fucking shoot. He can't finish. He can't pass. Okay? He can't pass to the open dude. And he spazzes out too much. At least he stopped falling down all the time. It is frustrating.
One baby steps, Derek. One step at a time.
It is frustrating. So I get the frustration.
Frustrating.
It's just
sort of like
sad.
Hey, baby steps. Ajiman's not falling over in the Champions League or Championship at least.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Once he gets a few more minutes.
Is box like Beaver? Asked Kevin Brenner. Yes. Yes, it is. That's the joke when we do the box references. It's like when who was it? God damn it, I forgot. Anyhow, who met what's her face? The women's goalkeeper?
Hope Solo?
Yeah, was it Jurgen Klinsmann met her? Yeah, and the dog was going from door to door, and Jurgen Klinsmann was in Hope Solo's apartment
box.
Her hotel room. And he asks, "Hey, Klinsmann, what are you doing in Hope's hotel room?" And she said, "Oh, no worries, D-Rec. He's just telling me what things I can do to make something about her box.
To manage my box better. Or
manage my box better, yes."
Something along those lines, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, the classics. Still out there somewhere, people, on YouTube. The cartoons. All right.
Going over the midweek report.
Let's do it. Midweek report. Midweek report. Midweek report. Yeah. Midweek report. All right, here we go. Zippity.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. All right. Tuesday. Jedi. Despite some people saying he's still injured, it's not true. He played a full 90 minutes in the Cup game, which they won.
I think Frank called us out and said, "Hey, what did you guys say about Jedi?" And we're like, I think I responded, I believe that Boomericci said that he thought the injury was pretty serious and wasn't going to be available for October. And I was surprised that he was injured or something like that. I was like, or something. I had no idea what the extent was. Yes.
He is coming back from injury and it is being managed, but he's not a quadriplegic. He can play, and he did, and he went 90. It wasn't the best 90, I can tell you that. I watched the game. Downs, 40 minutes in a Cup game for Southampton in a loss. Again, he's just got there, so let's not be too hypercritical. It's not been great so far. Pulisic, 30 minutes in a Cup game, and of course he comes in and just scores, and they win the game. Good for Pulisic. He's been on fire lately. Does that mean we're pushing the Pulisic hype button? No, it is not.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
We do not think Pulisic's a top 10 player in the world. No, we don't. We do not think he is coming up for the Ballon d'Or. No, we do not think that either. Okay? So we are not a hype train here. We do not do hype. Maurice Malone.
Hold on real quick. I love the delay on this stuff too, because this came up right when you were talking about Pulisic, and I know Chambers doesn't think it's Pulisic. I think he's talking about Downs. I think.
Yeah, I would guess it's Downs. He has not been that great.
But it's funny that with Chambers being a Milan fan, it said there, it popped right up when you're like, no, we don't think he's a top 10 player, and all of a sudden, hasn't even been good, Derek.
He has been good for Milan. I will say that for Pulisic. Maurice Malone, who moved to Sturm Graz in Austria, went 59 minutes in a loss. This is Europa League stuff. CCV went 90, like, painless toe minutes and a tie for Celtic. Yao went 60 and got yanked. Reynolds went 90 in a tie for Westerlo, or better known on Pete Show as Westerlo.
Westerlo.
Sorry, Pete, for punching you in the nuts again.
Every time.
I know, we got to do it to him. All right, Thursday, Tessman, 25 minutes and a goal, which I just watched while we were doing the show.
Phenomenal goal.
And a win and a beauty for Lyon, and that's 2 goals in a row in 2 games.
He's been lighting it up recently, yeah.
I don't know. The other one's a tap-in, but hey, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Hey, you got to be there to tap it, right? And then Eric Palmer Brown, which I am watching right now for Panathinaikos, he did not play. He was in the 18, did not play at all against the young boys from Switzerland. And by the way, they're not that young. They've got 30-year-olds on the team and late 28-year-olds. It's just the name of the team. They're not all young. All right. The thigh issue is related to recurring golf cart incidents.
So we got Joe Scally to blame, huh?
Anyhow, for the 253 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share, which grandma. And give your stepsister a little light kiss on the cheek for us. Don't get too dirty yet. Show's not over. All right, Brett, that's the midweek report, buddy.
Midweek report.
Midweek report. Weekly report. Weekly report.
Meep.
Don't snort. All right, here we go.
Snort the midweek report. There's something there. Keep that in mind. Don't snort the midweek report.
Lots of shit rhymes with ort, right?
Be good and interesting. We'll see what happens, guys.
Court, mort, no. Fort, no.
Before we start pulling up potential starting 11s for I need to pull up while we're talking. I need to pull up Jimmy Conrad and company's starting 11. But I figured let's go ahead and talk about the actual main topic here and talk about who's the heart and soul.
Who the heart and soul?
Who that heart and soul?
Who is the heart and soul, Brett?
Who
That's
who
I
there?
don't know. Let me do it the German way. Brett, who is the heart and soul
He's
of this American team?
stepping on toes.
Who is going to step on the toes of all the other teams that we face and say, I, like Jermaine Jones did, say, I'm the man. I am the man of this team. When we all sit down together and the coach says, whip out your balls, who's got the biggest ones? That's what I want to know, Brett.
Yeah.
Although I understand Larry in the chat wants a whole show about dick size. Okay, Larry, well, I think you need to go to another channel, like maybe Pornhub or X Hamster. But this will not so happen on this show, Larry. A dick size show. No, so. No. And it's not because we are embarrassed about the dick size. All right. Go ahead, Brett.
So yeah.
What do you got?
Who's our heart and soul?
The heart and soul of the team's Pulisic. I'm sorry, but he is. I don't care how much philandering with the press that Adams does, and I don't care how old Ream is. And while I'd rather not he have I don't wish he does, and I hope he does not have the captain's armband, I do believe he is the heart and soul of this team, and this team will go as far as Pulisic can manage himself, as you've mentioned, and we have mentioned on this show. If he goes too superhero on us and tries to play Superman ball, we get screwed. If he doesn't do enough, we get screwed too. He's got to manage that in between and just be himself, but not try to force it. So,
Heart and soul is in fact still BJ.
BJ Callahan would be a very important piece to the soul of the team as far as his understanding of all the players and their connection with him. If you talk to anybody who knows any of our players on our team, they fucking loved BJ Callahan. They loved him. So, yeah, if you want guys to fall on their sword for a coach, their sword, that would be BJ Callahan. The players would all do it for him. They would die for him.
Wandering Ghost says the fans are the heart and soul of the team.
Oh, not anymore, my friend. Or if they ever were, there are not enough of them out there.
If we were the heart and soul of the team, this team is on life support.
It is right now on life support. Yes,
fans are
upset.
I can't tell you how many fans have you talked to. Like I said, hey, this was the last window. I give him more chance after chance after chance. It's enough.
Yeah, so, a lot of people writing us privately here to other places saying, I just can't do it anymore, dude. I love your show, but we can't watch anymore. I guess I'm done with this team.
That's the worst part, man. The players on the pitch are hurting our bottom line. What the fuck?
They certainly are.
Who the fucker? Listen to us for the hate watch, at least. Come on.
They're so sick of it, they're not even willing to listen to hate watches anymore.
I'll say, well, the hate watch comes from hating on the team, watching us to hate on the team. Not because they hate watch our show.
No, I know.
We have some hate watchers, sure.
Yeah, Larry hate watches us. Yeah, at the same time.
Larry loves to hate on you, is what it is.
Well, he hate watches, yet he wants to see our penises. So there's that.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, some people would just call that negging. Try to knock you down a peg or two so he can get his way with you.
I got another word for that, but I'm not going to use it here. All right.
I'll say to start an argument. It's not an argument by any means, but when Weston McKennie is in tip-top shape and he's firing on all cylinders, I would say, especially at those moments, he is arguably just as valuable, if not more valuable, than
certainly locker room he is.
On the pitch, I mean, there's a different tone to our midfield when McKennie is fit and in shape.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the McKennie we've seen before, who's fired up and won't be pushed around and doesn't, extend a hand to every opponent who's fallen on the ground. Yeah, that's annoying. But yeah, he's too nice sometimes. I like the fired up Mean McKenny. If we could get more of that, I'd like that.
As where's it at? Bandit said it, like when he gets his jersey ripped and he's walking by kissing the grass, that stuff.
That's what we need more of. Not the one that helping all the opponents up off the ground. I don't want that one.
We're shooting the shit with the referee after they just gave them the foul.
And I haven't. Bro. Casey makes a good point. I haven't seen that McKenny in 2 years, and I'd agree. I haven't either.
That's fair. I mean, It's been, what, a year and a half since Copa, at least, right now? A year and some change, a little bit.
There is a point where we talk about the chip all the time, where you as a person can find your inner sanctity, your inner calmness, to the point where it doesn't really benefit you as a player. Part of what makes soccer players great is their competitive nature, their confidence, in some cases arrogance, the willing to go to battle. And if you do find this inner peace, which is sometimes what I think McKenny's found, because he's so happy all the time and he's such a positive guy all the time. When you see him, you're like, has he found too much happiness? Is he lost his edge a little? It seems like he's way too comfortable with where he's at. And does he have a bite left? Did he stop having that bite 2 years ago? Because it seems to me we went from a McKenny 2 years ago who was told by his manager, you need to be scoring 8 to 12 goals per season. And he scored 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it was, to a McKenny who's just a role player on Juventus now when he plays. And in his
defense, when he plays, I mean, he was like leading assist of the team too. So I mean, it's like, hey, I'm not scoring goals, but I'm setting everybody up.
Last season,
I don't know what his stats were last season.
Less than McKenny. He had 3 assists all season.
Maybe actually be thinking of the season prior to that, but yeah, 1 sec. Pull it up here. Where'd it go? There we are. Boop, 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 doop. All seasons.
Choo 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 choo.
Choo choo
choo choo choo choo.
One
sitting, little policeman sitting in a row.
2 goals, 4 assists last season. And he had 10, 11. He had 10 assists the season prior.
I think the production's gone down, Brett.
Yeah, it has.
And I don't know. He A.E. Bailey says he's not fat anymore. No, he looks fitter right now. But we have seen him come in chunky, and then we got the whole article from Doug McIntyre, which you didn't. I sent you that. You didn't bring that up, but
well, I mean, I had it at 11. I was going to pull it up, but I'm like, unless you had pinpoint locations you want to talk about.
Not the article. Like my back and forth with Doug today.
No, I've got that. Chillax. About the roster lineup. We're gonna
yeah. Oh, I thought we were done. You took the tabs down.
No, okay. I pulled off the Aints abroad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go with it then. Okay. Doug McIntyre's predicted, and so this is one of those instances. Remember when back like 4 years ago when I'd send something to a writer on one of the newer ones that didn't know us from the big soccer days, and they wouldn't reply to me because they didn't know who the hell I was. Well, Doug does. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. So whenever I message Doug, he replies, which is nice. Because I said, hey, I think your graphics guy hang you out to dry here. They did hang him out to dry. He fully said, yes, they did hang me out to dry.
Well, I mean, we got to talk about his lineup first before he starts talking about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I said your graphics department might have squeezed you a bit putting Adams as a right midfield. Yes, he says the graphic is a little misleading, Derek. Should definitely look more like a 4-2-3-1. Well, that fixes absolutely everything with Doug's lineup. It makes sense because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
We haven't seen his lineup yet, so that's the reason why I wasn't going to talk about it just yet, but sure.
Yeah,
so 4-3-3.
So he's like, yes, this is a 4-2-3-1. They put up a 4-3-3. Yes, it screwed up my lineup. So I got it right at least. And he now knows the next time he's doing an article and he works with his graphics team, they got to put up what he tells them to put up, not what they think he wants them to put up. All right. So this is a 4-2-3-1. And if this is in fact the case and Tillman moves up and you got McKennie and Adams playing the pivots, this is a legit lineup, a super, really good, legit quality roster.
Yeah.
And I would love to see this with Tillman playing the 10.
I even think you got Turner right here too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not saying that Turner deserves the spot over Freeze, but Freeze is going to be busy with the playoffs.
Well, what I'm hearing is that Freeze might be available now.
Wow.
Because they pretty much are, well, that week of the window is the last couple games of the MLS season. And Freeze and his team, they've already made the playoffs. So
if that's the case, and
they don't need him, right? So he might be called up now. And there might be a couple other guys with the same circumstances. Certainly not Luna. They're fighting. It's not Seattle. I don't think they're, the Seattle versus RSL game. I think we're going to see Roldan is necessary there for the seeding. They need the seeding. But I think Freeze could be there because of how secure they are.
Let's see.
I might be wrong.
October 10th is the first game. Yeah, they still have games on the 11th and 12th. They've got games on the 18th.
Yep.
And they end on the 18th. So yeah, okay, fair enough. The that kind of fucks up our roster.
Not all of it. Luna can't be Luna can't be there.
Luna won't be there. He's vying for a playoff spot at this point.
Roldan won't be there because it's RSL versus Seattle. I'm trying to think some of the other guys.
But Seattle's sitting with 45 points. I mean, and FC Dallas, who's the bottom, ninth place, are sitting at 37 points. I mean,
but it's close, and so now we're talking about seeding, right?
That's true too. I guess you could look at it that way.
That's why Roldan won't be there. But I do think there's a chance that Blackman could be there.
I don't. So now here's the thing, though. I don't see Blackman or maybe at the time, but so Vancouver. I'm gonna just pull this over because it's silly me to look at this by myself here. So Vancouver's sitting with 56 points, second in the West. Philadelphia has 60 points. I mean, they're 4 points off of winning the Supporter Shield.
So
do you think it's a possibility of losing one of their center backs and their midfielders?
No. I don't think so. So we might not see Blackman. Although I think I do think Tack thinks that it's a possibility that I disagree with him on that. I don't think you're gonna give up Blackman and Berhalter. No way. Not at the end of the season where you're fighting for the highest seed you can get. No way.
We know that let's see, where's Houston at? Houston is vying for a playoff spot, so I don't think McGlynn's going to be there.
No McGlynn.
No Luna's fighting
Freeman on the other side.
Yep. Orlando's in right now, I believe. No,
they're in, but they're still fighting for a seed.
A seed, yeah. Freeman's probably out.
And oddly enough, I guess Chicago doesn't have a game in the window, so Brady would be available. I don't know. Poach did say he wouldn't have to be able to call any of the MLS players up. Did he mean none? Or did he mean mostly? I don't know. He said it would be mostly a European-based team. Or I think he said it would be a European-based team. Did he mean mostly a European-based team? Or all? I don't know. We can't get that clarity.
Hang on.
You got clarity?
No, I got the
quote.
One of the quotes. Hold on, I gotta find it now. Should be easier for me to do
so,
this way.
It'll be interesting to see how many of these guys. Zendejas, I don't know. I'm sure he's going to make himself available.
Yeah, I suspect Zendejas will be available. Yeah. Okay. Stop sharing. Let's get this up here. So here's, this may not be the actual quote that everybody refers to, but he does talk about it here.
Okay.
I was talking today. You notice that in October and November we are going to struggle with the player, MLS player, because or they are going to compete for go to the playoff, or they are going to be in playoff in November, and then player in November that are going to be in holidays. How we keep that is important also to analyze why also we took this decision. We take the decision to bring now the possibility to play more of the player that
more of.
So
Okay.
this is during the Japan presser or post presser or something like that.
Yeah. So more.
So I mean, he basically says, hey, October, November, players that we were going to be taking a look at, which they took a look at in the September window, a lot of them are going to be vying for playoff spots, or in November they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And there'll be some players that will be out of the playoffs at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think his major point was you guys are criticizing me for all these MLS players, but what I'm telling you is these guys are not going to be available going forward for the most part. So, of course, the team's going to be more Euro-based going forward. Well, we will see about that, right? I think November is going to tell us a shitload about where we're headed going down the pipe. So, yeah, we'll see about that.
So here is... Call it what you want, crew. If you did a 4-2-3-1,
small, but yeah.
No, I'll read them for you by the means. They did another one. Oh, they did a 3-back as well. So they did. Let's see, Robinson, Ream, Richards, Dest.
Okay.
Adams rolled on.
What?
Pulisic, Tillman, Weah, Balogun.
Okay. What? Rolled on?
Yeah. So prior to this is just a snippet segment. Prior to this, they had who they thought were locks for the U.S. men's national team in the next window. But it really sounded like that nobody questioned what Poach kind of said. And we just watched the clip. But nobody questioned the fact that Poach alluded that said, hey, there's going to be playoffs. There are going to be people vying for spots. We're not going to be able to call these in. This is why we call them in the September window.
Yeah, Roldan's not going to be there. He's going to be fighting for seatage in the fucking play and right before in the last week of the season against RSL and Luna. He's not going to be there either. RSL not giving up Luna, and fucking Seattle ain't giving up Roldan.
Spiders on says they took him off a little after. No, they took him off when they changed the roster, the formation. Once they changed the formation, it was a bit different at that point.
Well, that's like do your homework. We love those guys, but come on. Even if in a world, Brett, where we're living on another planet, for fuck's sake, what is Roldan doing on there? What is he doing on there? What is Roldan doing on that starting lineup? You tell me.
I don't know. Poach may have liked him after that window. I don't know.
Okay, and McKenny's a big pile of fucking steaming shit.
Not playing much right now.
Oh, come on.
You got to listen to things that Poach say in playing time. And even Gio mentioned that in the last window. Said, hey, I'm not surprised I didn't get called up. I haven't been playing.
All right, but okay, so he didn't play last game, McKenny. He'll be back this weekend.
Yeah.
He'll play. He'll be back.
I agree. So here's their 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3, I guess, whatever you want to say, however you want to word it here. But they got Ream, Richards, and Scally. Dest, Tillman, Adams, Robinson, Pulisic, Weah, Balogun.
No.
And they have Tillman there because they brought the fact that that Jamaica game during Nations League, Tillman came in as a 6.
Yeah, but everybody hated that except for us.
We said that, and then the entire crew here talked about how it was his best game as a U.S. men's national team player at that point, which is what we said too.
Right, but everybody else thought it was
great.
crap.
But, I mean, that was his best performance yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think if you go with this, it's going to be Tillman and Pulisic up top, and he's still going to go with McKenny next to Adams. Well, the McKenny hate or Tessman, the McKenny hate, but that's too much defense. McKenny can go forward. You don't need two holding mids in front of a back 5. You just don't. You just don't need 2 holding mids and a back 5.
Sure.
So that's got to be McKennie. Like, does everyone hate McKennie suddenly? I guessing based on these lineups, yes. McKennie isn't on the outs. Juventus is your team. You tell me. And yes, we both agree that he's turned into a role player for Juventus. But god damn, we're ready to kick his ass out after Poach said all those things about McKennie. Well, we don't need to see McKennie. We know who he is. He's a good player. He'll be back. So he's going to call him up and not play him? That seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. We love you, but that's wrong, Jimmy. And
Looks
it's
like,
not just Jimmy's lineup, obviously.
Looks like Mossy and Lawless have a lineup here. Colin says this is how you depict a double pivot. So you got Robinson, Ream, Richards, Dest, McKennie, Adams, Tillman, Pulisic, Weah, Balogun.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect.
Yeah. It's about
Nothing
what you'd expect.
Except for the goalkeeper. I feel better with Freeze right now than Turner.
If Freeze is available and playing, yes, he'll play.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, again, it's one of those things, again, where, is New York City going to be vying for a better seed? And Freeze doesn't get let out?
Yeah, it could be that they're like, well, I know you want him, and our second goalkeeper's really bad, so no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a field player. You can't, just lose Luna if you're Arcel going into a playoff fight. That's horrible.
Luna stands no chance for October.
None.
No chance.
Nope. He's
McGlynn
playing.
stands no chance. None.
Right. They're playing.
All the other MLS players are all outside of Turner. All the other MLS players are all vying for higher seeds or
Freeman,
a supporter shield.
Berhalter, Blackman, all vying for higher seeds, better placement in the bracket. Yeah, no way. I can't see it. So, and that's what Poach told us. So either he's a liar or
you're a liar.
Or you're full of shit. Either one of
You're a big
the
fat
two.
liar.
It's hard to believe that McKennie is just like, everybody's just like, oh yeah, fuck him. When of the few times that Sargent could have scored or etc. in some of those games we lost.
Panama match. Yeah. Panama match could have been completely different if somebody would have just scored some of McKinney's assists.
Absolutely. There were some great through balls and some great passes from McKennie that weren't finished. Like, we're going to blame that on... Was he pudgy? Yes, he was pudgy.
Let's see. McKennie had the drop back to Sargent, who, would have scored, but the guy deflected it into the post.
Right.
He may have also set... I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but he may have set Weah off on the one where Sargent scored, but that was called offside. Because Weah
Jorge Castillo says MLS is not playing during the break. Clearly they are.
Yeah, they are.
Clearly, we just put it up on the screen, Jorge. We love you, brother, but yes, they are. They are clearly playing during the break. Absolutely.
All right.
So,
here we go.
and the very excuse that Poach used why they aren't going to be called up for this window. Some aren't, some are. So that's just
there's an October 8 game. That's 2 days prior to the first match, the 11th, because we play on the 10th.
Yep.
There's the 11th. There's the 12th, the 18th. So they're technically not going to be playing during the second game of the window, but at that point, they're not going to be called in regardless.
Well, and then Carlos says mostly teams making up games. Well, they're important games, Carlos. What does it matter, brother? It doesn't matter if they're make-up games or not. They need to be played and they need to be won.
Yeah. I mean, again, just to reiterate here, you've got teams that are vying for the Supporter Shield. Cincinnati and Philly are fighting for Supporter Shield, but then so are Vancouver and San Diego.
Yeah, Jorge, don't get your info from FootMob. That would be my first recommendation.
Like I said, Real Salt Lake and Houston are vying for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all happening during that time period.
Yep. So I think what Poach said was legitimate. We'll see if he's full of shit or not, and see how many guys are willing.
Carlos was correct on this. He didn't say that they didn't matter.
Okay, fair enough, Carlos. My bad. I just, interpreting some of the comments is not easy here sometimes because I'm not following the feed the whole time I'm on this show. So if I say something out of context or don't get your context, I apologize.
Yeah, they got MLS has to make up time for the
cups.
Cup. You know?
Yep, all the cup shit. So yeah, they got to squeeze a bunch of shit in. So yeah, it is what it is. I guess we'll find out October 1st or 2nd, I think, what the
sometime next week.
Roster
that's what everybody's preaching. Yeah, sometime next week. It's going to be like on a Tuesday or a Friday. Sometime that doesn't work with our
never does.
Our live streams. By means, U.S. Soccer does this shit on purpose, but maybe it'll come out, and that's the day that we're recording with Kirk.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
See. Herc. Nope. No updates from Herc as far as times. So we do not have an official time yet with Herc. So
like the comment our back and forth. You're like, yeah, we got Herc kind of on the books tentatively next week. And I go, Roger. You go, no, not Roger, Herc.
I don't want Roger Bennett on this show. I don't know what he would bring. I'd have him.
Whatever. I'll talk to anybody. I don't care.
I have him on. I mean, I think we could bring out a new bustling flower. Although, Roger Bennett is not somebody you need to tell to continue talking. He will talk. So I should know. I don't shut up either.
So does Roger actually go on any other shows? Or, I mean, he always acts the host, so he always does the long intros. He does the long transitions to the next topic. But does he actually go on any other shows where he has to be the one that answers?
No, I've never seen him on one.
Why would he?
Mm-hmm. No, maybe people aren't asking. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Herc's the ex-player. It seems like ex-players are the people that people want on their shows. So, well, we're ex-players, but people have us on their shows. But we're not MLS players or pro players.
So that's a pretty loosey-goosey term.
Yes,
to call ex-players, Derek. We once played the game before in our youth.
But let me give you some context. So there was a guy named John Drosis on our team, one of my best friends in high school in Fort Knox, who mostly rode pine on our team. Eventually, he was in the military and he went to Europe and he was stationed in Germany for years. And on the weekends, he would play Division 4 and 5 Bundesliga ball. Okay, if John Drosis can play 5th Division Bundesliga, no offense, John, I'm pretty sure I could have played 3rd Bundesliga ball.
Oh, sure, yeah. Once you start breaking that down, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time ago.
I've watched enough USL to know that I could have played in USL.
Yeah, I mean, so the guy who was the same age as me, actually a little older, was behind me on my team, can play 4th and 5th Division Bundesliga, then I certainly could have played 4th or 3rd Division Bundesliga, for sure, back in the 80s and 90s.
So
I don't know.
First U20 game is on Monday, apparently. Do you want to do a live stream for a live stream?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. What channel is it on?
Great question. I'm not sure.
I mean, that could determine whether we're doing it or not. Because this is on, some of these games are on some weird ass channels.
Let's see, USA. They don't specify on the Googles.
Fox, says Tony.
Okay. Well, that'll be an interesting, me being a minute behind.
Which Fox? FS1, says Tony.
I got rid of Vic, so I don't have it anymore. Fuck. I'll have to take my laptop to my parents' house to sign into their Wi-Fi so I can pull on my laptop.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be weird when we're a minute apart again, but oh well.
It's a lot of fun.
Let's cover it. So we'll be back on Monday to cover that. We are done for tonight, and we do appreciate the 282 of you that were out here tonight following us. Have a great weekend. Do that, and we'll be back Monday. Until then, check it out.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
ooh, great
The
blowjob.
secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I don't understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what.